First of all, let me greet everybody. Power to the people, Black Power, Uhuru. And also let me just say that I'm honored to be part of the Electoral School once again. And I just want to give a shout out to the panelists that's been before me that are in total agreement with everything that's been said. And I appreciate the brilliant analysis of Chairman Omali Yesateli in his opening statement. Just the other evening, I had I'm going to say a dream / vision that in 2024, all across this nation and throughout the world, they were reporting a massive political earthquake in the United States and Africa. The political earthquake in the United States was in November of 2024. Ojama Baraka was elected president of the United States on a slate of Black is Back membership that has swept out of the United States House of Representatives, the misleaders of the Black community who had been prior elected. Also in 2024, as part of the movement to gain our fair share of political power and end colonialism, that Brother Barron, Charles Barron, was elected governor of the state of New York, as well as part of 7 other Black is Black candidates being elected governor, as on the state levels of government, Black people have seized power. Also that same year, in the United States Senate, in gaining the fair share of our political power per proportionate representation, rather than just 3 Black elected officials, that the Black is Back coalition candidates swept 14 states for a United States Senate. And part of those candidates that's part of the Black is Back coalition, Ms. Coffee Wright became U.S. Senator in the state of Missouri, and Lisa Davis in the state of New Jersey. Also, in the city of St. Louis, Jesse Todd, an outspoken advocate for change, is elected mayor of the city of St. Louis, as well as Kim Gardner is once again re-elected after the many vicious attempts by the powers to be to remove her from office. And then the major earthquake in Africa is that Chairman Omali Yesateli seizes power for the state, for a United States of Africa under the principles of socialism that becomes militarily and technologically as equal to the Western world. So I just laid that out in terms of when we talk about electoral politics as a tactic, then we have to have a vision as to what it would look like. And that vision as it relates to who would be representing power for us as a people. So it's in that spirit that the church upon us, those who say we won't change, is that at every opportunity, we have to seize the opportunity to campaign for positions of power that does 2 things. One, ideally, to win that power and control, and then or at least educate our people at a higher level of the issues that constantly impact us for the purpose of us being totally united in our war against colonialism, in the fact that we will be eventually victorious. So it's in that spirit, too, that I just want to share with folks the battle that we got going on here in the city of St. Louis around the issue of a key position that impacts our lives daily, which is the position of circuit attorney here in the city of St. Louis, but it's also called prosecuting attorneys in many other cities. We have a sister who, after many years that myself, our organization, along with other progressive organizations, have fought to seek some form of justice in many instances that revolved around the prosecuting attorney office. As everyone knows, the prosecuting attorney has a powerful position of deciding to trying to indict and convict people or not to charge and work to convict a person. We have had many different police killings here in St. Louis over the years from the time I've lived here, starting back in 1983, a high point where a sister who was sitting out on her front porch minding her business was shot and killed by a white officer chasing another sister through the neighborhood and shot and killed her. It was a great outrage, just as it was with the Mike Brown case at that time. But in the process of seeking justice as relates to charging and convicting the killer cop, Joseph Ferrario, we were not able to make that happen. Subsequently, there have other shootings, which we went to the various prosecuting attorneys to try to get some form of justice. One case involved a young brother named Garland Carter, who was running away from the police in the neighborhood, shot in the back of the head and the buttocks by another white Hispanic officer. And we are calling for him to be charged and convicted. And of course, the system saying no, because they do not value our lives. And that was just another form of the KKK in blue uniforms executing one of our people. At that time, we asked a progressive young brother, who you have to be an attorney to run for office, who did run for office after we had a rally outside of the, at that time, existing circuit attorney, D. George Hayes, and I'm having a sign saying terminate racism, terminate D. George Hayes. And if I had a real army, she would have been out of there. But like, he did ran a great campaign, but unfortunately, a lot of the misleadership didn't come around to support him. Fast forward 2016, Kim Gardner took on that role of seeking office, and she was victorious. But she ran on a campaign of reforming that particular office and took public positions that, one, she would not be trying to just lock up our people. In fact, she had a policy that for first-time nonviolent offenders, who many times would be sentenced to jail, that she would not no longer do that. She took a position that everybody is equal under the law, and there's no favoritism. And so she had the audacity to go after a governor, Eric Greitens, in 2018, who many felt that had national aspirations to be president of the United States. And because of his invasion of privacy, where he had a personal affair with someone, a female, and photographed her without her knowledge and threatened her that he would use that photo in her compromising position to blackmail her into not letting nobody know about the affair. And it did come out in public, but she had the audacity to charge him, which eventually led to his downfall. And the powers to be made a commitment that they would go after her at every opportunity, which they have since then. So we're in a battle currently where there was an unfortunate accident of a young mother who was out on bail, who had violated his bond violations numerous times, and he caused this accident that caused the loss of amputation of 2 legs of this young lady who was in St. Louis visiting at that time for a volleyball conference, I believe. And it came out as if Kim Gardner was at fault for allowing him to be on bond. And they plastered it all across the media. But the reality was that she sought to revoke his bond, but the judge, who only has the authority to revoke the bond, did not. And in fact, the attorney for this young man, Daniel Riley, publicly stated that even though he disagreed with the policies of Kim Gardner, he did state that she actually did seek the revocation of his bond. To that end, the governor of the state of Missouri, who took over from Eric Greitens, has publicly, along with Trump, spoke out against Kim Gardner. And to that end, the Missouri Attorney General, who was appointed, is now, through a very seldom used law, trying to remove her from office, which would effectively disenfranchise the voters of the city of St. Louis when we talk about democracy, because it is the voters of the city of St. Louis who elected her, not just once, twice, and the second time with over 70% of the vote total. So it's an intense struggle. It's an intense struggle that we're engaged in here in St. Louis, that when we do seize, as one of the panelists has said prior, power, many times the powers that be try to take away our power. So the battle is ongoing. We got to understand that electoral politics will not free us. It's going to take a collective effort, a revolutionary effort, to put an end to this system of capitalism, imperialism, not just for our sake, for humanity's sake. So it's in that spirit that I greet everyone. I'm always motivated by the brilliant minds and the actions of the Black is Back Coalition. And I finally like to say we will be victorious. Uhura.